So we created the web page with content on it, and we created a search. The next step is to take those two and combine or group them together. Okay? So what we did is we're under My Searches, Manage Searches. We created a My Agent Save search. The next one is Create SEO Search Page. So under My Searches, Manage Searches, the second link, create a SEO search page. I want you to click on that link. And I'll zoom in so y'all can see these. Okay, so the SEO page name or link name. Because my website is actually geared towards the Katy area, Sugar Land, this area itself, for the SEO page name, link name, I'm just putting in the neighborhood name. I don't have to put in Texas or Katy at the end of it, because pretty much everybody in this area knows where these neighborhoods are. Okay, so I don't have to put in Katy, Texas on there itself. So I just put in the neighborhood name itself. The custom URL. You're going to put in the neighborhood name, the city, and the state.
Hey, what if our city is 2 words?
Instead of spaces, you're going to use a hyphen. So to give you an example, College Station, College hyphen Station hyphen Texas.
Not all caps, just all lowercase.
You can do it all lowercase, it doesn't matter. You can do all caps, all lowercase, it doesn't matter. In my case, it's Nottingham hyphen Katy hyphen Texas.
So if it's Jacobs Reserve, do I have to put a hyphen between Jacobs and Reserve?
Is it 2 words? Is there a space in between? Then the answer is yes. Okay? So anytime there's a space, you're going to replace the space with the hyphen. Search engines look at the hyphen as a space. Now here's the cool part. Because you use the same formatting for neighborhood pages, for cities, for schools, for school districts, for zip codes, when you create all of your web pages, you should know the URL to every one of your pages.
Right.
So in my case, my domain name is buysellkaty.com / Cinco Ranch, Cinco hyphen Ranch hyphen Katy hyphen Texas. Nottingham, Nottingham hyphen Katy hyphen Texas. Falcon Rock, Falcon hyphen Rock hyphen Katy hyphen Texas. So do you see what I'm talking about?
Yes.
You know your domain name. If you follow the same formatting for your pages, you'll know every single URL to every one of your pages that you create. Okay? What's even cooler about that is when you're talking to somebody and they're interested in a neighborhood and you write down the URL to that specific page. Hopefully you spell it right. Okay? So it actually makes it look like you're staying on top of your website too. So if you keep the same formatting, it doesn't matter what page you create, you should remember the URL to every one of your pages. The current layout, page layout, or create page layout. Page builder content. This is where you're going to click on the drop down and you're going to select the page that has the content or the text for this page. And this is why I put SEO at the end of that text or that page itself, because it helps me identify those pages in this list as it continues to grow. So I'm selecting that neighborhood. Now the search page object, you need to make a note of this. By default, this is set to yes or set to on. You want to make sure that you turn this off. What the search page object is, when it's on and the page is viewed live, over on the right hand side, there's a little widget or a little thing that pops up and says view more listings or search more listings. You don't need the search page object anymore. Does anybody want to guess why? I'll give you a hint. What's under the menu bar on every page of your website?
The search.
The search.
Yes.
So you don't need this search object anymore on those pages. If you put it on there, you're actually duplicating. You have a quick search and you have another search for a link over there. So make sure you set that to off. Your saved search, click on that drop down and select the search that you just created. Now, before we get into titles and description and adding stuff inside here, how important are titles and descriptions? Okay, Frank cannot answer this. Why are they important? Well, besides the search engines, we all know that.
Well, they're words, right?
Well, they are words, but why?
So how do you get it?
Okay. The reason I ask that is because everybody has an idea of why they're important. I'm going to give you an example of why they're important. What I just highlighted is your title. This content down below is your description. So think as a consumer. Think as a person searching for something in Google. When you do a search, what are you looking at in the search results? The title or the description or both? It's a question. What are you looking at? You look at titles? Okay. I don't look at titles anymore. I look at descriptions to see if the words I'm looking for are actually in the title. If they're not in the first sentence or first two sentences of the page, I don't even click on that page because it's not what I'm looking for. And what you're going to find out, that's how people are searching. They look at the titles to see if the keywords are in the title and to see if the keywords are in the first two sentences of the description. And if they're not, 9 times out of 10, they're skipping over that page itself. So your title and description are really the most, in regards to search engines, of people clicking on it, are the most important things of getting people to your web page. Remember earlier, I told you to copy that first sentence? You're going to paste it into your title. Okay, so to give you an example of how this works, search engine sees the URL, which this is the URL. Okay, so it's going to be your domain name / the URL to this web page. So in that URL, it knows Nottingham, Katy, Texas. That's one of the words that they're going to be targeting on this web page. As soon as the page loads, the first thing up at the top it looks at is the title. In that title, does it have Nottingham in that title? And what other words are inside your title? The next field that it scans is the description field. Does the description field include Nottingham and the other words or phrases? If you leave them out, take a ring out of the ladder. If you put something else inside the meta title, other than the words or phrases that you're targeting, take a ring out of the ladder. This is the first 2 or 3 things, actually the first 2 or 3 things that the search engines hit is your title and description on your web page. Your description. Don't lie to try to get somebody to your web page because all they're going to do is click on it and leave anyway. So make sure whatever you put in your description is exactly what they're going to have access to on that page itself. So in this case, view, beautiful. Okay, so view beautiful homes in Nottingham located in Katy, Texas. So do I have Nottingham, Katy, Texas in the first sentence? I got one yes and everybody else is either typing or, okay? Because they're not exact, even though they're flipped, the search engine still count them as being the same thing. Okay? The other ones. Let's see, how am I going to do this? So the second sentence, I have the elementary, the junior high, and the high school, and they're ranked amongst the highest in the Katy School District. Now, I don't know if they're ranked amongst the highest or not. I'm just showing you how you can word that, but still keep those other phrases within the first two sentences, so when somebody does a search, those words will be highlighted in the description field. You only want to target what you're targeting for that page. What do you mean other words?
Well, I mean, you could add some other descriptions about the neighborhood too in there.
The first two sentences, you want to make sure that you get those words in there. After that, what you put in there is okay. You just want to make sure that each one of those phrases are in there one time, and they're within the first two sentences. Okay. Inside your keywords, the only thing you're going to put in your keywords are the phrases that you're targeting for that page. And you're going to separate them with a comma. You can type them in all caps, all lowercase, or you can write them out where every word starts with a capital letter. It doesn't matter as long as you separate the phrases with a comma.
You haven't used homes for sale?
No.
How come?
Because typically when people are looking for neighborhoods, they're looking for neighborhood names specifically and not homes for sale.
Homes for sale in Nottingham?
I've actually found that to be unsuccessful.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I found to get the pages ranked and to get more traffic on them, I found just by using the neighborhood names by themselves, I get more traction than I do homes for sale. Now, if you're talking about a broader area like Katy, homes for sale, it's a little bit different. But for neighborhoods itself,
Yeah.
because a lot of times when people are looking, and this is just from reading up on neighborhoods and that, when somebody's looking for a neighborhood, they're looking for specific information about a neighborhood. You know, if they're looking for homes, they've already figured out a place where they can go look for homes. You're trying to grab them that's looking for information about the neighborhoods.
Gotcha.
So, and it's a little bit, you can pretty much almost guarantee to get a page ranked by using homes for sale, but it doesn't mean that it's going to garner good traffic. Okay, so your keywords, make sure you put in your keywords. Do not do this. Okay, put commas on every single word. It doesn't help. And it doesn't matter at that point, so don't do it. Just put in the phrases, what you're targeting for that page itself. That's all you need inside here. So before we change or update this page, does anybody have any questions? Is everybody good? Scroll to the bottom, click Update. Okay, so under managed searches, what? Okay, in your URL, chances are you probably have a space inside there. You cannot have a space inside the URL. Did you find it? You might have a space in between the words too.
Where's my URL?
You got to scroll up. There's your URL. It's right there, in between the hyphen and the R.
Yep.
Okay?
I think after Conroe, you got one before Texas
Yeah,
too.
so if you have a space inside your URL and you go to submit, it's going to tell you have an error.
Thank you.
So make sure you look into it. If you have to zoom to look inside the URL, make sure you do that. A lot of times we actually see agents put a space at the end because they're just habit of pushing the space bar. Typically where we see it right there. Now when you submit it, under My Searches, Managed Searches, down below, you're going to see a field called My SEO Searches, or My SEO Search Pages. Do y'all see that? It's the same thing. You have the Manage over on the right-hand side. So from the Manage, you can copy it, you can delete it, you can rename it, you can do all that stuff to it. Okay? So any questions over that? You just created a saved search. So the question is, where did it go? All right? We know it goes to the site content because every page that you create always is placed inside the site content. Let's hold on a second and see if they get caught up. So if you want to go to site content, go ahead. Okay? So scroll to the top, click on site content. Did I click this back on?
Talk.
Yay?
Yes.
Nay? Okay. So under the site content, when you add a web page, what sort value does it place it in as? 99. So when you add a web page to community, where does it add that page? It's not a trick question. Okay, earlier when we added the page under community, where did it add it? It added it under community with a sort value of 99, right? So if I go and add another web page under community, it's going to add it under community. When you create an SEO search page, by default, it will always drop it under the properties field. So under site content, look under number 5, top navigation button properties. Look inside that box. You should see a page that you just created with a sort value of 99. And an easy way to identify these pages when you create them, look over on the content type. You see the page name? It says SEO search. That's the easy way to identify that page that you just created. Now this page is set to show, right? Okay, so hypothetically, do you want to keep this under properties or do you want to place it under communities? Okay, so how do we move a page from one section to another one? Edit where? Link settings. So go ahead and click on Edit Link Settings for that page. Display is on. We're going to select Community. And your sort value. So all these SEO search pages, what number are you going to use to group these together? Wrong, not 240. 50? Okay, so we use 50. 15? You can use 15. You can use any numbers that you want. The only reason I'm not using 240 is because we're pushing the other pages down. These are the pages that are going to be live on the website, so we want to have them to have a lower number. So there's a separation. So the pages that are live on the website, we want them higher up. The pages that are not live, we want them down at the bottom. So that way, keep it separated. Set the sort value to 50, click Submit. And you know what? I'm going to make these to where they're the same. Okay? All right, so here's an example. all the search pages are going to be grouped at the top. All of my SEO pages that I create are going to be at the bottom. And
you're not showing your SEO pages intentionally.
Purposely, correct. The reason that I don't have these set to show is because go to your website, scroll to the top. Underneath apps, widgets, and reports, you see the link where it says View Live Website. Click on View Live Website. When the website comes up, I don't want you to click on anything yet, okay? Just when the website comes up, I want you to mouse over Community. Okay, so his question was, are we purposely setting the SEO pages to not show? And the answer is yes. Because if we set them to show, what's going to happen is they'll also show up here on the drop down. And then when that happens, I now have duplicated content. I have content on the SEO search page, and I have content on the text page.
So we're supposed to hide that?
The SEO page itself?
Right.
Okay, not the SEO search.
The SEO page itself.
Yeah, where you have.
The first time, 240.
Yeah, you want to make sure those stay hidden.
Okay, that was it, but the other one was
You want to leave it set to show. So go ahead and mouse over Community, and then click on the page that you just created. If everything was done correctly, it's not there. Okay. We will find it. All right, hold on a second. We're just going to mouse over here. Is that it? Okay, so you haven't moved it. Okay? So to move it, I want you to do this. All right? So it's right there.
Oh, yeah, okay. And you said
So click on Edit Link Settings. Click on the drop down. We're going to go to Community. And then set it to 50.
okay, that's,
And then save or submit. Okay, and now it's in the right spot. Okay, so on this page, you should have that first sentence up at the top, some content, a video, and if everything was done correctly, you should have the listings for that city or that neighborhood on this page itself. Good?
Yeah.
All right.
How come the search engine is on?
I'm sorry?
The search,
On the menu bar? That's on every single web page that's inside there.
but if you put this, the search page, you switched it off.
No. No, there's okay, let me show you what that looks like. What she's asking about is that search object. So let me show you what that search object looks like. Okay. Okay, so here's the page with the search object turned off. Here's the page with that search object turned on. See right here on the right-hand side? Okay, do y'all see what I'm talking about? And that is coming from SEO search. It's coming from here. So if you leave it set to yes, then this little window opens up right here on the right-hand side. And it pushes everything over, and I can't add anything underneath it. Okay? So by turning it off, then I have the full width of this page to use, and there's no reason to have it.
Can we resize the videos?
Yeah, you can resize the videos. You just have to go inside the coding to resize them. You have to go inside the HTML to resize them. Okay. So is everybody good? Good information?
Great.
Okay, a couple other things, then I'm going to turn everybody loose here, okay? Remember earlier on your website, you have that default map that shows up? Click on My Searches. No, Search Controls, sorry. I'm so used to going to My Searches. Go to Search Controls, And then the first sub-tab is My Search Map. It's a Google map, so you can just double click on it and zoom in, then drag the map over to where it covers your market area. What I recommend that you do is on that map, make sure that the map covers whatever your MLS covers. Because what you don't want somebody to think is if I only have it set to show Katy, I don't want somebody to think that's all that's there. I want them to know that it covers a broad area. And when you zoom into that map, once you're done at the bottom, make sure you save My Search Map. Now if you want to start over, just click on Reset and you can start over. Now, can you have it set to where it displays the whole state of Texas? If somebody does a search in El Paso, will they get search results?
Well, it's whatever MLS.
Actually, they will get search results, but it's only RE/MAX listings. So if they search outside of your MLS, the only listings that are displayed are RE/MAX listings themselves. Okay? Now, if you are members of multiple boards, they can search both those MLS boards and have all the listings on your website. In my case, I'm only in Houston. So if somebody does a search in Dallas, they're only going to see RE/MAX listings from Dallas. Does that lead still come back to me, or that information, if they're on my website? Yes, even if they go to a different MLS, because it's my website.
Once we get zeroed in on there, we save My Search Map.
Save it, and then you're done with it. It's one of those things you save it, and then you forget about it. The last thing, click on Search tabs. Now by default, every one of these are set to show. Foreclosures. That information is provided by RealtyTrack. If you don't want to deal with people in foreclosures, hide it. I hid it on mine because I don't know anything about foreclosures. And I don't even want to get into that part of it. So I set foreclosures to hide on mine. The new homes, which one is it? Homes? Yes, new homes. That one is actually new home builders. So new home builders, D.R. Horton, KB, all those different home builders, we get a feed of listings that they have that are active that they're wanting to sell. And those are on the websites. Those are additional ways for you to get leads, not just on listings from the MLS, but also from the new home source. Okay? A couple of things I want to remind you about. Make sure you get a domain name set up on your website. If you don't have a domain name set up on your website, you need to do it as soon as possible. Because once you start creating these web pages, the search engines will start crawling your website. And you want to make sure your domain name is on those pages, not timross.remaxtexas.com. That's a subdomain. Nobody's going to remember that. So make sure you have your domain name set up on your website. Another thing is called Google Webmaster Tool. Not Google, that's too advanced. Google Analytics. Okay? Analytics is a free program by Google. It'll actually monitor everything that goes on your website. Go and sign up for a Google Analytics account. It's free. Once you have it set up, if you'll contact eCare, they'll actually walk you through on how to activate that on your website. And analytics is really cool. You can get really in-depth on that. You can actually track them to where they hit your web page, all the way down to where they exit on what page they leave. Okay, so that's the things we wanted to cover this afternoon. I know some of y'all are ready, itching to get out of here, beat some traffic. Nice drive ahead of you.
We've got to return a rent car by 6 in College Station.
Well, haul ass. Ooh.